Black Clover is back with another 3 chapters. And you know what's funny? It's only been about 2 months. Yeah, 2 months since the last chapter. Normally we have to wait 3 to 4 as this is a quarterly manga. But I don't know what got into Tabata or the people at Jump Giga, but we got new chapters only 2 months later. So that's honestly really good, and it is another 3 chapters. And I like these chapters a lot. We got a lot of action. We got some new forms, as usual, for Black Clover at this point. And the series might be ending even quicker than we initially thought. And I'm kind of here for it, but I want to see how things progress. And we'll get to that in a second. But before we jump into this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps and it shows you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel and shows you want to see more. Black Clover has honestly been on a really great run since it went quarterly, and I cannot wait for when this series ends, because I think it's going to have a really solid ending. So stick with me for the rest of the journey. But if you want to see more of me outside this channel, go and check out my weekly manga podcast, Shonen Pulse, on the Panel Focus YouTube channel, where me and my co-hosts, Yatsugami, Papa Trophy, and Nacht talk about 9 manga from 3 different magazines. It's a lot of fun. We go in-depth with a lot of these discussions, and I think you guys will have fun. So go to the link in the description, give us a follow, and subscribe. It'll be really very much appreciated. I think you guys will enjoy the discussion, so hop on in. And also, I have a second channel for myself called GW Comics, where I talk about comic books. Right now, I'm going to be a bit more DC focused than Marvel, obviously. I'm going to be branching on some other stuff. It is a passion project of mine, and I would really appreciate if you guys go and check it out. Link to that channel will also be in the description. Now then, onwards to Black Clover. We start off with chapter 384, titled Inspire Spirit, as we once again get a beautiful double-page spread, this time of many of our group in swimsuits, as obviously front and center is Noelle, Marileona, Charlotte, and Nero, as some of the other characters are off in the background, flying on eagles or on balloons. It's honestly really nice, a lot of detail, and we got a little bit of fan service in this opening colors page, so that is always great. But we'll begin from where last chapter left us off with Asta coming back at full strength thanks to Mimosa and cutting down an angel, as he meets up with his allies who have protected him this entire time, as now it seems like things are finally getting into gear. Libe is also okay, but apologizes to Asta, obviously due to the fact that Lucius surprised them by essentially reviving Lisita in front of Asta and Libe, causing their devil union to get undone and getting them that mortal injury in the first place. But Asta tells them to shake it off, as now it's time for everybody to go and take on the angels, so that they can give Asta a chance to go back and fight Lucius. It's then Noelle makes her return once again, saying that she swears Asta surviving something like that is very impressive. Consider this a compliment, as now Charmy gives Noelle a bunch of food for her to chow down on so she can replenish her magic after the fight with her mother. And now it's time to go back and fight, as Asta promises Mimosa that he's going to come back alive this time, with Mimosa happy and says, "I'll be waiting." Noelle tells Asta let's go, as the two of them charge up into the air, Asta gifting Noelle anti-magic as well, as she now has her Valkyrie armor black dragon form. This looks amazing. I loved her original dragon spirit die form. It looked fantastic and beautiful. This one looks even more cool as a badass transformation. Now that she has anti-magic, she has a better chance of taking out all the angels so they don't get, revived due to Lucius's magic. It's then that a legion of angels comes sprouting out from the sky to try and take down Asta and Noelle, but Noelle goes off and begins to hold off all of these angels, telling Asta to go on ahead, as Asta beelines it for Lucius. Personally, I would have liked it if Noelle went with Asta or said, "Go on ahead, I'll meet up with you," because I would like for the final villain to be taken down by the essential big trio of this group, of this series, but it is what it is, I guess. Maybe Noelle will show up later on. Who knows? Either way, Noelle's cool form, she's taking on the jobbers at this point, just to buy time, but it is what it is. But it's then that we transition over to the Land of the Sun in the main palace, as it is completely destroyed, with a paladin being remotely controlled by Lucius, as now that he uses ultra gargantuan magic, he can remotely control these paladins. And I forgot this guy's name, but this was actually the first real antagonist that Asta, Magna, and Noelle faced in their first mission at the beginning of Black Clover. And now he is a paladin that is facing off against them and holding Ryu by the throat as he's using his eye abilities to kind of, look at what's going on over in the Clover Kingdom. And so says, now we finally meet Ryuya Ryodo. As he says, someone magicless whose future is hidden from me. Frankly, you are a thorn in my side. And tell me, why have you given Asta all this support? Also, it's really nice to see that anybody with no magic can evade Lucius's timeline graphs, which makes sense considering that he just sent people to the land of the rising sun just to subjugate the rest of the world. He had no idea about Ryu and his abilities, which is pretty interesting. But it's then that Ryu just lets everything out. Says after he got the Tengetsu, he lost all of his Yoryoku, his magic. And basically he didn't really regret it, but it was rougher than he figured. It felt like he'd have to give up on his dream and what he promised to his friend. And so he used his eyes, after this harsh reality, to escape from it, to look all around, searching for his friend, until he ended up finding a young boy with no magic like him. And out of a sense of kinship, he kept having an eye on him, as he then goes on to say how he witnessed Asta, someone with no magic, take on all these impossible tasks, keep working hard, and not giving up on his dream, meeting his friend again, seeing everything that he's done, charging head first towards his goal, taking on anything that's in his way. Nearly dying again and again, but he still saved others and got saved by others himself and kept fighting. And seeing that gave Ryu strength, and it gave him courage, and it roused him into action. And this makes so much sense for why Ryu helped Asta when he came to the Land of the Sun. Outside of him being mentored by Yami, seeing someone else like him, another magicless person, but this person actively not giving up and going into battle, working for his dream, helped motivate Ryu and gave him more confidence. And thus, this probably could explain how Ryu really gained the respect of others despite having no magic and became the Shogun. It is amazing. And Ryu, with no fear in his eyes, stared down at the Lucius-possessed Archangel, saying, "The one I back, no. That we back ain't you. You slink around, forcing everybody to bend to your will, arbitrarily posing like some god." Literally laying it in on Lucius and all his thoughts. But Lucius just smiles, says, "A shame, but it looks as if the new world won't need a shogun." But it's then that the strongest member of the Ryuzen 7 makes his appearance. Yep, Yosuga has finally made his return, coming out of the rubble, and slices off with one singular swing the head of the Archangel, saving Ryu and saving Hino Country from this Archangel. As all he says is, "Looks like you weren't able to impress our Shogun." Really epic moment. This guy managed to get the jump on a Lucius-possessed Archangel and one-shot him by literally decapitating him, going for the head. Very smart move. Always whenever this is the case. You always gotta respect someone that goes for the head for the kill. But we jump back to Lucius versus Yuno, as Lucius says, "You were the ultimate opponent, Yuno, but your anti-magic's about to run out." With Yuno charging up, saying, "Yeah, this is gonna be the last of it." As in a 2-page spread, Yuno unleashes a black meteorite to slash at Lucius. Doesn't do too much damage, but it's then that the anti-magic runs out. But Yuno throws away the Demon Dweller's sword, as it's then caught up by a speeding Asta, who now is dual-wielding back in his partial Devil Union form in a 2-page spread, with Ryu saying the one we want to back is Asta. And now that he's back in the fight against Lucius, he apologizes to Yuno for the wait, but Yuno says, "Dude, waiting for you is getting real old at this point." Meta commentary probably at how often this happens, but hey, it's a shonen trope. This is going to happen every damn time, and this doesn't get old. I love the hype from this moment. But Lucius is kind of obviously annoyed by this, but he essentially says, "Can you cut down her?" as he reveals an Archangel Lucita, as Yuno is obviously disgusted that he's doing this ploy again. But Asta says it's fine, confirming with Libe, who is obviously distraught at seeing this, but ends up giving himself a pep talk and steeling himself for what's to happen, saying that he swore an oath back then, after Lasita's death, and when him and Asta achieved perfect double union for the first time, that what's important to him now is what Lasita protected, her biological son and his essential adoptive brother. As Liebe says, what he wanted to protect, what Lasita wanted to protect, was him and Asta. As we then cut to an instance where Asta manages to land a quick Zetan blow, taking away the paladin powers, the archangel powers of Lasita, returning her back to normal, as we then get the star magic, seemingly making it so that Lasita is teleported to a safe distance. Does this mean that Lasita is alive 100% now? I'm all for having more MILFs in this series, so maybe. And hey, Asta might be able to actually get to know his mom, so that'd be cool if that is the case, unless she disappears, once Lucius dies, but we'll see. But now Asta and Yuno are staring down at Lucius, with Asta once more with real killing intent and seriousness says, "Brace yourself, Lucius. This is the final battle." As chapter 384 ends, as we jump over to chapter 385. Chapter 385 of Black Clover is titled Foolish Gambler, as this beginning section of this chapter is majority just the fight with Lucius, Asta, and Yuno in this desperately strong fight and struggle as they go throughout the kingdom, through the castle and a cathedral, zipping around, slashing at each other, blocking and parrying all of Lucius's blows, and landing attacks on him, utilizing their teamwork to its utmost potential. 2-page spreads, everything. This fight, essentially with no dialogue, is like 6 to 7 pages long. But we then get the inner monologues of not just Liebe, but Belle, saying that these rivals are making each other level up. They're going even faster, even deeper, as we get an image of Asta's anti-magic and Yuno's wind magic, representing the depths of their power beginning to grow. As they both say that these two are getting even stronger as they keep pushing Lucius back. But as we see Lucius being pushed back, we now cut back to Adrammelech seeing all the battles against the paladins and archangels, with all the reinforcements taking on the revived paladins. And all he does is smirk. As we then see that the revived Morgan is unleashing a barrage of light magic attacks, destroying as much cover as possible. All while Yami, Nacht, and Ichika are bunkering down whatever cover they have, with Yami's Black Moon covering them and giving them shielding from the light magic that's going on. And yeah, this guy's a literal monster, and they can't even get near him. But then Adrammelech just casually goes in front of them, as Nacht has to remind us who Adrammelech is and that he's been watching all this going on. I feel like this is just Tabata, just saying that, hey, Adrammelech's been watching this whole time in case you forgot. Because, it's been quarterly. Adrammelech barely appeared in these chapters at all in this final arc. So, I guess just wanted to remind that. As Nacht says, yeah, he's here. They're pinned down by Morgan. And now a supreme high-level devil is upon them. This isn't going to be good. But then Adrammelech does something that I don't think anybody expected. He asks them if he wants his help, which shocks everybody, as he basically goes over to Yami saying, "Hey, you over there, dark magic user, let me possess you. Getting sacrificed to open the gate to the underworld made you perfect for devil possession." Obviously, it made sense. Yami has a devil heart. That has been foreshadowed for a long time, and the pill that he ate gave him, access to that demon blood power that he has. Now, full power mode. But now Adrammelech's offering to give him another power-up. But Yami's like, hold on a second. Why do you want to give us a hand? As Adrammelech says, with a devilish look on his face, maybe because humans are more interesting. As he says, "You have been, ever since you fought Lucifero. Well, Lucius had you pegged that time, but you've really hung in there against him. You didn't have a snowball's chance in hell at winning, and yet, what's this feeling? Watching you just thrills me. Lucius is predictable. You're absolutely desperate, and following you would just be more fun." Meaning that Adrammelech is just literally an adrenaline junkie. He doesn't want mundanity. He doesn't want things to be boring and predictable. Seeing the humans defy all odds against Lucius in his perfect world and everything that he has planned out so far literally makes them more interesting to him. And now he wants to fight by their side because he's like, this would just make things way more fun and thrilling and very much unpredictable. Who knows what could happen after this? And after hearing this, Yami laughs and says, "Okay, I like this. I like you. I'll take that gamble with you." And obviously, deranged lunatic and just being upfront with everything, Yami instantly takes a liking to Adrammelech. And now Yami is now a Devil Union host, as he gets seemingly a Devil Union form with Adrammelech, getting some of his things on his arm and wrists, and new devil horns. Now this is just an addition onto his already devil power form, but it still looks badass. It's Yami. And I think he also has a tail now. But we then cut over to Lucius as he realizes what's going on, asking, "What's this about, Adrammelech?" And Adrammelech just says, "Dude, it's not going to be much fun if you win. I'm going to go for the more exciting option." As then Yami realizes something's up with his magic, as Adrammelech says, "It's not very devilish, but put it to good use. We're going to hit that thing with everything we've got," as we then go into a double-page spread, with Shadow, and Darkness magic combining, lunging straight towards Morgan's. As we then see the caption, "The blacker they are, the brighter the light shines." As we then see a bright ray of light slice towards Morgan, with the reveal that Adrammelech's magic isn't poison or decay like many of us thought. It is Supreme Devil's light magic, and this can destroy the paladins. It takes a devil to fight an angel, as it's then Yami with his cloaked black blade and his light blade then slashes and cuts Morgan up, truly defeating him once more, ending chapter 385. I was not expecting Adrammelech to join forces. I thought it was going to be like a secret boss. Maybe Yuno would have to fight him, or maybe Noelle will have to fight him, or something like that. I thought he was going to do something interesting, or come back as a paladin by Lucius. But no, he's just someone that likes to see these things go on and just decides, I'll pick whoever I think is most interesting, the least boring. And after seeing everything that's gone on with Lucius and his plans, he realized that Lucius is just boring, he's predictable, and that his plans, it seems like he's going to be very obvious to win. But let me join these humans, because despite being at the brink of death over and over again and at the biggest disadvantage, they have surpassed any and all expectations, and yeah, I'm going to join them. This is supposed to be way more fun to see, and I'll give this power to the devil, using the devil potential guy with dark magic. And it just so happens that Adrammelech has light magic, the devil equivalent of light magic, and I'm like, this kind of makes sense to a degree that we haven't seen Adrammelech for a while, and we've all speculated what his abilities are. And it's kind of fitting that Morgan would be defeated with not just darkness magic, but light magic as well, and devil-empowered light magic, surprisingly enough. Not very devilish, but every single magic we've seen in Black Clover has had the devil equivalent, as it does have a devil source to a degree. We've seen it with every single devil, and that's what has been said since the reveal of the devils in Black Clover. So it makes sense that there'd be a light magic, but yeah, I wasn't expecting Adrammelech to have light magic. That's a nice twist and subversion of expectations, giving Yami a true Devil Union form and Adrammelech's power. I love it. Really awesome, really cool new form for Yami. Epic conclusion to the fight. Really great. I can't wait to see all this get animated. But now we go on to the last chapter of this batch, chapter 386, titled Voltage. As we continue and catch up with Mereoleona, as she managed to defeat the completely revived Aesir, as now it seems that she has been defeated by Mereoleona fully, and she's beginning to fade, with Mereoleona with a somber look in her eyes, says, "I don't know any monsters like you," with Aesir passing saying, "Neither do I." As Mereoleona looks up, seeing the fight between Lucius, Asta, and Yuno, as their clashing continues, with Lucius saying, "Okay, let's do this. You two can probably survive this, but what about the citizens below?" As he then creates a giant, massive ball of every single magic attribute and attack he has in his arsenal, as now Asta and Yuno, they can survive this, but the rest of the kingdom probably can't, which is insane. With Lucius with a gleeful smile on his face, says, "Humans, it's time to embark on a new and happier life. With this gargantuan ultimate magic, united forces, throwing it down on the earth like Madara throwing down a massive meteor." And this is really cool, but also just like Lucius going like, you know what, I tried doing this the more I'd say complicated way. Maybe give you a chance to see things my way, but yeah, screw that, we're going full scorched earth right now. He's going to wipe out the entirety of the kingdom and then use his magic to revive everybody as angels and paladins right afterwards. So, yeah, it's just like, I'm fed up with this. This shows that they're getting under Lucius's skin and trying his patience, and this is just his way of just getting this all done quickly, and I kind of love it. Showcases that they're pushing the main antagonist to the brink of his patience and sanity at this point. And this is always a final push of an antagonist at the end of a series. Now, ASTA and Yuna know that they have to shut this down, and they have to be able to get the chance to strike at him, and them managing to cancel it out will be Lucius's chance to get the finishing blow on them, but even still, they gotta stop it. But it's then, someone unexpected calls out saying that they have to stay focused on Lucius, as it is Fuegoleon saying that he's finally gotten the hang of this now, as he finally reveals, after over 100 chapters of being the Salamander Spirit host, he unleashes Salamander Spirit Dive. A really awesome transformation, and he's joined by his older sister, Mereoleona, as the two of them lunge a giant Kamehameha-esque massive fire attack, with the true Hellfire incarnate form of Mereoleona with the Spirit Dive of Salamander, the embodiment of flames, now fully merged with Fuegoleon. Does this beat the fraud allegations for Fuegoleon? I wouldn't say it negates them, but it's an awesome moment for Fuegoleon. But as they charged up and hit this massive ball of magic power, trying to burn it away like Natsu against Zareth, I have to throw in a fairy tale reference at some point. It's one of the big things on my channel. They realize that their flames aren't enough right now. But it's then they look over at Leo, who's coming towards them, and they call out to him, as Leo sees this as acknowledgement from his older siblings, saying he's on his way, goes up, and joins them, saying that he can finally join his older siblings. As Leo joins in and unleashes his own flame magic with them, and they do a combined magic attack with a giant pillar of flaming magic erupting from the ground, beginning to burn and destroy the magic force that Lucius created, as we get two double-page spreads showcasing the Vermilion siblings destroying it, and the full destruction of this massively powerful attack. Probably Lucius' strongest attack ever. As we get another two-page spread of Asta and Yuno charging after Lucius through the remnants of this flame with a shocked look on Lucius' face, as they all continue to clash over and over, zing and zag. As it's then we get more of Belle and Liebe's inner thoughts, saying that this is amazing, incredible, fantastic, wonderful from Belle going to Yuno, and Liebe saying, Asta, we're becoming one. As then, in another full double-page spread, we get the reveal of the true final forms of Asta and Yuno, a true enlightened Spirit Dive Yuno, and a true full-powered Asta Devil Union. These are kind of a very sleek and cool, less is more type of design, and I absolutely love it. It's epic. There is sheer silence, no sound effects, showcasing that through this fight, not only are the two of them in sync, but they became so in sync with their spirit partner and devil union partner that they've essentially become one entire being, creating a true unison of these two magical creatures that are a part of them, essentially giving them true mastery over these abilities. And in the final two-page spread of this chapter, Asta and Yuno speed blitz and slash at a surprised and shocked Lucius, ending the chapter. Honestly, Black Clover continues to surprise me and makes me more excited for each new batch of chapters. Now, obviously, we're going to have to wait another 3 to 4 months, probably, hopefully, unless they surprise us with a December release for more chapters. Who knows? But these are some epic fights. Really cool moments. Leo got time to shine again and actually got acknowledgement from his siblings, as he has basically been on the far background for a long time in this series, outside of a few moments here and there, especially with the previous batch of chapters. And this basically shows that a part of his goal, his dream, has finally been acknowledged by his siblings, has come true, and the strength that he gained over the time skips alongside his siblings with their new powers managed to literally destroy a blast from Lucius. That is an insane level of power from all these characters. Noelle gets a Black Dragon Knight form. We get some more power. We get some more strikes from everybody. We got the catch up with Ryu and the Ryuzen leader. as with a really awesome moment, some more depth to Ryu's character and why he backs Asta so much outside of being related to Yami. We get Adrammelech's magic revealed, and it's something I wasn't expecting, and him switching allegiances. Yami gets another upgraded Double Union form at this point, and Asta and Yuno seemingly deal the finishing blow, or the penultimate blow against Lucius, with their true final forms. Truly united in this amazing double-page spread with their new abilities, with their full mastery of their abilities, and their unison with their spirit partners. Perfect. I loved it. Amazing chapters. I cannot wait for more. And this might be the end of Black Clover. The next batch of chapters might be the actual conclusion of the Lucius fight, and then wrap up going into the following batch. Black Clover will probably be done next year, if this is the case, with the next maybe 2 to 3 batches of chapters, if things go this way. I'm going to be sad if it ends, but I feel like it's ending in an appropriate way. And once the series ends, Black Clover's anime is going to come back, probably seasonal, and all the fights that have kind of been off-screened will most likely be fully animated to fill out time slots and give more time to these characters. And I really look forward to that. And who knows, maybe my criticism of last chapters, maybe we'll get a anime-only Diamond arc to fill in the 1.5-year time skip between the Spade arc and the Land of the Rising Sun arc. But I'm rambling at this point. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on these chapters in the comments section down below. And once more, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps, and it shows you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel and shows you want to see more. I will try and make some Black Clover videos again between these chapters. I can't guarantee it. I got a lot of stuff on my plate, but I want to talk more Black Clover. It's been so good, and I can't wait for more. And until next time, I hope you all have an awesome day. And never forget, you can always surpass your limits.